I know it's 1st of April, but this is legit. It's kind of difficult to make jokes now on 1st of April because everything is so funny that I just don't think I can one-up the funny nature of the universe anymore. A Japanese player got banned for saying nigero, which is actually the way you pronounce it. It means run in Japanese, but you have the Westerners, the Amerikanskis, that don't really understand the world, but they're very multicultural. But they don't really understand other cultures, and they assume that just because something is offensive in the United States, that it must be offensive everywhere in the world. You know, they think they're the center of the universe. And I have seen this happen in the past, like there was an athletic event, a running competition. And a person from that running competition came from the country, and I'm mispronouncing it so that the YouTube AI doesn't think that I'm being offensive, but it's an actual country, and it's called Niger. Okay? Like, Google it. It's a real thing. And I remember, like, one of the players from that place had it written on their t-shirt, right? They had the name of the country written on the t-shirt. It's double G, hard R, right? But the Americans on Tumblr got freaked out. Like, they got really offended. Because they thought, like, I suppose, like, the organizers of the event tried to play a joke on a person or something. But that's how incultured they are. Like, they don't understand that the rest of the world doesn't function by American standards. There was, like, another example where... Oh, yeah. This is actually from Romania. Right? Like, this is actually something that happened here when a referee at a soccer game said, which player are you talking about? And the guy was like, negro de acolo. And it's like, oh my God, he used the N-word. It's like, no, it's a Latin language, and it literally means black person. Like, it's literally mean like that black person over there. I mean, the guy didn't know the person's name. They wore the exact same uniform because it's soccer. You know, literally the only individual characteristic that could jump into his mind in that fraction of a second was the skin color, which differentiated him from the other people. And that was a major scandal, by the way. Like, how dare you see color? You're not supposed to see it. Like, it's so crazy. It's literally where the world is coming to now. And I remember, like, this even a couple of years ago. There was a massive scandal in the United States because a black woman got a couch, I believe from China, and the color of the couch written on it was N-word brown. That was the color of the couch. That's why the Chinese labeled it. But again, like, it's not the insult, the slur. It's from Spanish. It means black. Like, the name of the couch was blackish brown. But I guess I could sound bad to say black brown. It doesn't. I don't know. I'm not the one making the couches. Okay, I'm not the one that paints the couches. But it caused a massive outrage because, like, how dare other civilizations in other countries not bow down to American imperialism? And, you know, it creates these lousy moments, in this case, with actual consequences for the poor Japanese individuals that cannot say the word run in Apex. However, I always wonder, like, why do video game companies ban people? Right? Like, I understand why they would ban for scamming. I understand why they would ban for cheating. But why do they ban for slurs? Isn't that an interesting question? Because when I grew up, video games didn't have any moderation whatsoever. I mean, you could play Warcraft 3 and you can type literally whatever you wanted. There was no moderation there. World of Warcraft the same in the beginning. StarCraft. And I didn't hear a single person just not wanting to play because people were using slurs in the game. I did hear people not wanting to play because the community was hostile towards bad players. Like, for example, in League of Legends, you know, being called a noob often felt worse than being called a slur. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, it's just like, or being told to learn to play. You know, get good, scrub. You know, like those things cut a lot deeper than a slur. But like, why do companies care so much about policing speech? Why do you think that is? And then I realized it's like because it's profitable. Think about it, like Overwatch. Overwatch was banning people left and right. What do you think happens to a person that gets banned from Overwatch? If they're addicted to the game, do you know what happens? They will buy another account. If they spent a lot of money on microtransactions to getting the skins they want and getting the gear they want, then they're probably going to spend that money again. There is a financial incentive for a company that's big, like EA Games or Blizzard, to ban some of its user base, because then they will purchase the product again if they're addicted. And if they're not addicted and they don't purchase, no big loss, because they got millions of players anyway. No, but think about it. Like, you can get unlimited suspension. Like, you can get an entire account banned permanently. And how do you avoid that? By purchasing a new account. So how does this work? Like, the corporation thinks that you are such a bad player that there is no more hope for you. Like, you are such a major disturbance to the game that you need to be removed, because otherwise, like, the other players just cannot enjoy the game with you there. So they will give you a permanent ban, but you can simply bypass it through the magic of the credit card and spending a little bit more money so you can buy the game again, and then everything is fine. Why is no one calling this shit out? Like, companies should not be able to do this. But unfortunately, you know, it is where the future is going at. Like, you will own nothing and you will be happy. The future is that, yeah, it's entirely true. Like, people are happy not to own their games anymore. People are happy to just rent their games from the company, and then the company can at any time say, well, sorry, you know, you're not allowed to play anymore unless you pay extra. But the interesting thing is that people will say, well, yeah, but Apex Legends is free. Is it though? Is it really free? Then why is it that the company is making multi-million dollars from it? The reason is that, yes, the game is free, but people do spend money on it. Right? And you buy skins, you buy stuff, you invest money in it. Like, I know people who spend more money on League of Legends, which is a free game, than they spend money on games that actually cost something. Like StarCraft 2, for instance. You know, StarCraft 2, one-time purchase. League of Legends, it milks you more than an expensive girlfriend. If you want to buy all those hot skins and all those cool words and, you know, buy some of the new characters and whatnot. Yeah. No, it's really interesting. So I definitely think this is why companies are ban happy. Because I've never heard someone say, you know what, I want to play this game, but like people are using slurs, so I just can't. I literally can't. Well, why not use the mute button then? I mean, think about PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, right? I think there were even journalists from Kotaku that wrote about it and said that they don't like that every time they're in the plane, you know, in the beginning of the game, people say the N-word. Like, it was a thing. Like, every time you would go and play Unknown Battlegrounds, play a new map, that was literally the slur you would hear. Every single time. And I didn't hear anyone just not wanting to play the game because of that. Like, the worst that happened where people would mute the sound, and then you didn't hear anything that was on the plane. Yeah. But anyway, here's a nice 1st April story. You know, the poor Japanese guy got 7-day ban for saying the game. It serves him right. You know, it serves him right. You shouldn't play Apex Legends. What is wrong with you? Apex Legends. Out of all of the possible games out there, play Overwatch like normal people. You know, no, actually play Titanfall. Like, Titanfall was a great game. Titanfall was one of the best games that I have played. And the Titanfall 2 story was actually breathtaking. The only problem that that game had was that I believe it released the same time with Doom. Not Doom Eternal, the previous one. And it released literally in the same week, so no one bought Titanfall. And it wasn't just Doom, I think there were like 3 other major titles. So it released in a very bad place, you know, like Titanfall. I mean, yeah, okay, it's kind of a cool game, but you had all these other 3 juggernauts coming out at the same time. So people didn't buy Titanfall. And I guess this told the publishers that, hey, Titanfall is not a good game. Like, stop investing money in it. So what they did is, like, they took the engine of Titanfall and they put it into Apex Legends. And then you have the cancer, which is Apex Legends, a horrible game, absolutely atrocious. If you're playing it, you should be ashamed. The only person that I know likes this game is Rags, and he should be ashamed. And if you disagree with me, you should be ashamed. A lot of shame is going to go around because people are just flat out wrong. And I need to put them into their place. So, yeah, seriously, be ashamed. Right? Like, the walk of shame, that's what you need to do right now if you disagree with me. Thinking it. You know, like, the only reason Apex Legends was actually good is because they paid streamers to stream it. And the moment the streamers stopped streaming it, the game suddenly dropped. Because it was just weird, you know? Like, why is this game all of a sudden, like, just becoming popular overnight? A game that no one heard about. And then, just like it became popular, it stopped being popular overnight. And it's like, well, now we know. It's because of the way they did the marketing. They paid streamers to play it. And the moment the streamers' contracts went off, they just stopped playing it. But anyway, right, let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys in the comment section. Take care.